Hello, welcome to Access Paranormal, and tonight we have got two very special guests on. We've got Jade and Mandy, all the way from Los Angeles, and they are called the Paranormal. Here we go, the Ghost Club Paranormal. And welcome to the show, girls.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And as you know, you've got myself, Jamie, you've got Jonathan.
Hello.
And just tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you met up, because I think you live a distance apart, don't you? But you meet up to do your investigations. Tell us a little bit about how that started.
So I started Ghost Club around like when COVID happened, when I lost my job, and I was like, well, I've always kind of wanted to do this, may as well do it now. I had like, yeah, I was expecting just a couple weeks off, before everything got back to normal, and that obviously didn't happen. But yeah, so I just kind of started. I've done like a paranormal road trip where I just stayed in haunted hotels through the United States. I'm originally from Scotland, but I've been here for 11 and a half years now. So yeah, I've always wanted to do that, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. Like I love the traveling, staying in haunted hotels aspect of it all. Decided that I was going to try and film it for YouTube, and it went horribly wrong, so I never used any of that footage. And then I kind of done like a little bit of redo, and I started just connecting with other YouTubers, things like that, people who were in the community and enjoyed ghost hunting. And then it just turned into something a little bit bigger than I thought. And we met at a paranormal convention.
Yeah.
And we ended up becoming pretty much immediate friends. That was last year. And yeah, and then it just got to the point I was just like, I mean, I'm usually meeting up with other people, but like it'd be nice to kind of do this together. And Mandy is also a medium. So that was definitely like a part. I'm just the investigator. And so it's just kind of like it was a really nice add on to Ghost Club. And we realized that when we investigate together, like things really, really start happening.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like we're still trying to really understand, what that is, but it works, and that's the main thing. So
Yeah,
Sounds good.
so you met at a convention,
yeah.
and then so you were just having a little chat. One of you obviously was had your own table there or something like that.
So it was the paranormal convention in Virginia City.
Which is in Nevada.
Mhm.
And it wasn't your standard convention. It was every group that was there was operating a ghost hunt. And so people could come to ghost hunt with the group of their choice. So it was a little bit of a different style of convention.
Mhm.
We actually ended up meeting and bonding because we experienced a paranormal event together when we were investigating.
During
Yeah.
investigation. Yeah, we were in a little church.
Yeah, we were investigating this church, and we clear as day heard this man just yell, "Hey," like a disembodied voice, "Hey," right between us. And both of us just stood up, grabbed each other, just freaked out. Because it was so unexpected. We were just sitting there.
And there was only like 5 of us in the church at the time, and they were all on the other side. And it was just me and Mandy by ourselves. We didn't know each other, and we were just sitting there. And then when that happened, and we both had that same reaction and that same energy with the both of us, we were like stepbrothers, become best friends.
So it was good, really, because it gave you both confirmation that something did happen. Because it's very difficult to get that kind of confirmation at times.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm sure you guys know, but for me, like I bond with people faster when I'm on investigations. Like if I don't know somebody in the beginning of an investigation, by the end of it, you feel way closer to them, like way closer than just a normal day out with a friend.
Yeah.
Because these things they're unexplainable, they're amazing, and it's like you go through a whole roller coaster. It's like a massive journey. It really brings you together. So yeah.
Well,
That's right.
me and Jonathan have been working together on paranormal stuff since I think it was 2010.
Yeah.
2010,
Yeah.
we've been doing stuff. We have there's like a core of us. There's like me, Jonathan, Marie, Lee, and Jane. And sadly, we've just lost one of our friends who passed away over the Christmas period. So like we've lost one of the core team, but we've all bonded so well together. We've stuck together
like
for
really
what
good friends.
is it 14, 15 years now? We've stuck together.
That's goals. That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. It's like at this point, it's just, you know, the amount of trust that takes, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, you know who to trust. You get that feeling of who you can trust, who you can't trust when you're doing paranormal stuff.
It's hard to find people that you can mesh well enough with, have similar styles too, and sometimes it takes a few tries. And so
Oh yeah.
I know we found each other just like how you guys feel. It's just like, thank God, you know, I found somebody who understands me. We're the same energy level, and I trust her, and you know, this could last forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't it funny that the paranormal brings people together in a weird way?
Yeah, absolutely. It really does.
Can I ask, Mandy, you're a medium, or is it because you've got the likes of mediums, you've got empaths and things like that. Are you all that in one, or are you just
Yeah,
a
so
medium, or
yeah, the general term is like psychic medium.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like to throw around the psychic part. I would say more intuitive. I really don't like to predict people's futures because the future can change. You can change your future at any point, essentially, right? So who am I to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow? But I would say I'm more intuitive medium, so I can feel into your situation and help guide you through it. And then, of course, I see and talk to dead people. So, but I guess it's all encompassing.
Yeah, brilliant.
And
that's good.
When you go out on the investigations, do you ever walk into a building and feel the energy, or have you ever walked in the building and thought there's someone standing over there straight away?
Yeah, so when you first walk in, depending on what kind of medium you are, but you know, because you're sensitive too, you walk into a location, you can feel the energy pretty immediately. What's that?
I was going to say that though. I think any paranormal investigator can walk in somewhere and go, right, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
There's energy there. Or sometimes you can walk in somewhere and you can go, there's nothing here.
Yeah. And see, everybody has the ability to feel, right? Everyone has the ability to feel energy or experience it however they experience it. So, you just know when you walk into a place. My added benefit, I would say, is I can walk into a place and I can see somebody standing in a corner, or I can feel somebody next to me, that sort of thing. So that does happen quite frequently.
And how do you feel when that happens?
I'm so used to it now. I know, Jade. We're all so used to it now. It's been like this since I was a little kid, so it's nothing new to walk into a place and just be like, oh, so and so's here, this person's here, you know.
Well, one thing that when I started working with Mandy, and I've worked with other mediums and things like that before, but the more you work with a medium, there's like shocking moments that happen, which seem very normal to you, but it's like, for example, there was like an investigation we done when Mandy just slipped into a trance and started channeling a woman. And that to me was like, I've never seen that before, but the second she did, and it was a fairly quiet night, and the second she done that, the cat balls were going off, the EMF meter was going spiking up to red constantly. There was a sensor light in the hallway that is only motion activated. That thing was turning on and off. And it was like, I'm like, what am I witnessing here? I wanted to run, but at the same time, I was like,
you were frightened to death. But Mandy was like, ah.
That whole entire it was amazing to see, because we had no cables go off like before then. We did no spikes on the EMF meter, nothing like that. And the energy, and then right when she came out of it and we stood up to leave that room, a picture fell off the wall. It scared the hell out of me, but she was still in this weird like aftermath thing, and she didn't even flinch, and I'm like, what's happening?
And normally I'm like the biggest scaredy cat, so if something were to drop like that, I would just freak out. But I was so just not myself. And I just didn't even
You know,
Yeah.
the three of us are still like that now. If anything big happens like that, we're like, oh, come on, let's go.
Yeah, but when we were coming in here to set up this tonight, where we are, we come up set three steps, and as I open the door, there's a coat hanger with coats on them, obviously. And as soon as I opened the door, I nearly flew, didn't I? Because I thought there was someone standing there. I was just coats. But I mean, if you ever watch any of our, if you go onto Access Paranormal podcast, Access Paranormal Investigate on YouTube. If you watch us on there, some of them are hilarious, aren't
Yeah,
they?
some of them are
You'll
funny,
see us
like.
getting frightened, or
Yeah,
I think one of them was sat in a puddle, didn't I?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether that one's up yet, but there's one where we're doing something. I don't know whether you've ever heard of. Have you ever heard of Bad Ben?
know.
There's Bad Ben movies. It's Nigel Back and
New
he-
York.
Kids.
sorry,
Is it with the kid in it?
No.
no, he's an independent filmmaker and he does like spoof movies of paranormal. And we were friends with him, and he said we fancy doing some paranormal investigations with us. And I said, well, how? You know, because you're over in America and we're over in the UK. And we worked it out, and we came on like the likes of Zoom here, and they'd be in the top left-hand corner, and we'd go off on our paranormal investigations, and they'd tell us what to do, and they'd call out as well as we'd call out, and that. And it worked out. It was really good, wasn't it?
It did work.
And we're going back to it, but we've had this break because he's been filming his other films. So we've gone off and done our own stuff as well. And I'm just putting them on YouTube now, what we've done with him.
Yeah.
And they were brilliant, weren't they? We had a really good laugh doing them.
Some of it was really interesting though, because some of the interaction and some of the calling out did actually get some like attention.
Yeah.
And like noises and stuff and lights and stuff, and it was weird, some of it, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was strange.
So we decided then is when we had the gap in that, we decided to take ourselves out and do our own investigations for half an hour to an hour. And it's been great, hasn't
Yeah,
it? We've had some good
that's a
fun.
lot.
You're lucky you've got nice weather over there.
Yeah. Hopefully.
We've been out in the lashing down rain and everything. Yeah.
And snow.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go on, there's one in the cemetery and we're in snow.
Well, I mean, we
No.
go out to Nevada quite a lot, and in the desert, it gets freezing cold.
That's true.
No, we've had like cancellations and that before. So
Yeah.
we've done some old investigations. I think tonight we're going to the Queen Mary tonight, and I reckon that's going to be really cold.
Oh, is that where you go in?
You're going on the Queen Mary?
Yeah,
Oh, you'll have to tell us
Wow.
how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. You've been before.
Yeah, I haven't been though since pre-COVID, so they, shut down for COVID and then went under massive renovations. So this will be my first time back in quite a few years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excited.
I've seen footage of the Queen Mary, but I mean, I'd love to do it. Is it just the two of you on the Queen Mary?
Us and then my friend Samantha as well, who's also a medium. So we're gonna have a medium showdown. No, it's not gonna be like that. But well, me and Samantha went before Mandy joined the team, and we got a couple things here and there. It was weird. It was the first week that it opened after COVID, but it was just so busy, and there wasn't really like I didn't even know where I was, and it took like 3-4 hours just to get around the ship, not actually investigating or anything, just to explore it. And yeah, the episode just it wasn't really like enough to put out as an episode. So we're gonna go back. And now we have Mandy, who's been on the ship plenty of times. She knows where specific spots are.
Yeah.
Maybe some that she's had experiences before. We can go back to things like that. So we're giving it another shot because
Getting too frightened, So be getting too frightened and jumping overboard.
I think we'll try and keep our composure.
Isn't
But
there?
we like to have fun investigations. Like we
Yeah.
live for the funny moments as well. And
Oh,
there's
yeah.
times that we very dark situations and scary situations, and we're like we end up just making a joke out of it, which is horrible, and we shouldn't do it. But it's the only way that we can cope.
gonna
to keep
save
doing
us.
the investigations and to keep going with the investigations. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. We get that because that's what we're like.
Yeah.
You have to do that, otherwise you'll end up insane.
yeah.
And we've had some quite frightening times as well,
Yeah.
especially when Tim Light on and see Jonathan standing there. That's pretty
Yeah.
scary. Yeah, but we have, as you said, Jade, we have some phenomenal places over here, and you've been lucky to be over here, obviously from Scotland anyway. Is there any places you remember where you've been to over here?
Yeah, so there was the Williamson tunnels that we talked
Yeah,
about. That's
yeah.
guys. That was pretty crazy. So I've been over twice to investigate for YouTube. And I also went over for 3 months to film for a Discovery Plus TV show, it was a paranormal TV show. And we filmed, I think it was 8 different locations, as I can remember. It was a couple of years ago now. And that was where we done the massive, insane locations. We done like the Hellfire Caves.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was intense. We done the I can't even remember. There was one that was like a witcher. It was like the witch markings. It's been running since.
Pendle Hill.
Might be that. It's kind of surrounded by a lake, and there's like a bunch of caves. That's where like Robin Hood, I guess, was from.
Derbyshire. It's in. I know where you're talking about. I can't
Oh.
remember the name of the caves, but it's in Derbyshire.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're talking about there. I've been there myself. That's a place
Yeah.
people do there.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It's like a museum as well, isn't it? And based in there as well. There's like a museum where you can actually walk around the lake and there's caves on either side.
I didn't go into the museum if there is a museum. I just went into the caves, and the caves were insane. I mean, like, you're really caving. You're crawling through these tiny little spaces, and there's cave spiders in there crawling on the ground and above your head as well. Like, they really, for the TV show, they really put us through some stuff. Like, and we were told that we literally couldn't have any fears. Like, couldn't have any fear of heights, can't have fears of spiders, like, or you just wouldn't be able to get on the show kind of thing. But yeah, we've done a lot.
Well, if you come over again, let us know. We'll take you to a cave, which is strange. If you go on our site and just look at the one called the Cave, you'll understand why you would love it. It's
Really,
really strange.
I love underground locations. I love caves. I didn't even care about the spiders, honestly, because you're just in the coolest place. Like, people don't just get to do that every day. And it was just absolutely mind-blowing. That's what we need to do, more underground caves.
So,
There's not many places like that over here. Sacramento, apparently, the capital of California, they have an underground town. It's like built on top of, kind of like Edinburgh. It's like an old city underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Victoria.
me too. Oh, Amanda's just found that out for the first time.
oh, poor
Yeah.
man, she's stuck in America. She's not been over here and she's listening to us.
Yeah, but
You'll have to come over, Mandy.
I really want to. I'm hoping we can go soon.
when I go over there, like, I have my really good friends like Rory and Sam from Project Entity, who's a paranormal team over in the UK, based over there. And they're not a YouTuber or anything like that, but they've been doing it for years. They're actually cousins, and they have, I'm not too sure if they still have their team or what, but I think there used to be like 4 of them. And they're the ones that, you know, they just have investigated so many good locations. So when I come over, he's already got a list there for me and going, what one do you want to go to? And I'm like, okay, like trying to pick them all out, and then get the budget already and stuff. What amazed me was, for some of these locations, we needed insurance.
Yeah.
Most of them now.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like, and he had to go there and do like a risk assessment and everything.
That's the one.
Before an investigation, and that's unheard of here. Wow.
Yeah, because we as a team, we have to have insurance here for when we go out filming and when we do other stuff. We have no choice but to have that insurance.
It's like safety gone mad, and it's all it is to cover to cover any liabilities for the people that own the building. So they're not liable for anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also, like, I feel like I mean, the buildings, some of the buildings are just so old as well. And you kind of have to really tiptoe around them. You don't know what you can touch and what you can't touch. And
Yeah.
it's just so much history.
The one we're in now is 1861.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 1861, this one.
Yeah.
So tell us, poor Mandy's being left on the side there because we're talking about the UK. When you first went out together on your own as a paranormal investigator, let me just work out, how far away from each other do you live?
About an hour and a half.
Oh,
2
not
hours.
too bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad for America, is it really?
Yeah, that's a normal day.
Yeah,
Normal
like,
drive.
yeah, you come over to my house. It's usually Mandy comes up here, and but if I like a couple times a month maybe to like do some filming and stuff. So it's yeah.
Because there's another two girls in America we talked to as well. Have you ever heard of the Common Mystics?
No.
That actually sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you two remind me of them in a way because they go off on their own, the sisters, and they go off on their own and do their own investigations and everything. And it's strange, and you know, as me picking up your information up on you on Facebook and then saying, "Oh, I'd love to interview you," because I was having a nosy page. I'm sorry about that. And then I just thought, you know what, I'd love to talk to you. I'd love to interview you because you sounded interesting even on your page. What's it like when you first went out together, just you both of you? What was that feeling like? We still getting to know each other, learning to trust each other, or did you know straight away you were gelled?
It was great because our first investigation together, we drove to the place together, and it was our first time ever hanging out. And it was a 7.5, 8 hour drive.
Yeah, so it probably took about 9 hours to get there. Yeah.
And so we were just like, well, this is either going to make or break us because, it could be really bad and awkward. But we talked the whole way up there, and it was great. And then our first night of investigating was just
Still to this day, best investigation. I feel like
hands down best investigation we've ever had. It was so mind-blowing, the evidence that we were getting, what we were experiencing.
Yeah.
And I think that was just like, we instantly knew, we're like, oh, we're onto something here.
Yeah.
And where did you investigate?
We investigated Mackey Mansion in Virginia City.
Right, okay. And what was it like when you went there? I mean, obviously you went to for the first time on your own. What was it like to do that on your own, as friends for the first time? Obviously, 7 hours of chatting to each other. You were best friends by that time, I'm sure of it.
Well, it was still like, again, like, we have different styles because, again, like, Mandy is a medium. She works a lot with senses and all that kind of stuff. And because I film for YouTube as well, like when I'm investigating, like Mandy gets so into the investigation. I'm into the investigation as well, but like it's always kind of like you don't know how it's going to work, how they're going to be on camera, like that kind of thing. It's the first time like I'd filmed, and it was just like the camera didn't even exist. It was so nice. It was like camera didn't even exist. We were getting this there was a couple of really mind-blowing things that happened on that investigation. One of them was my Nana came through. She was the one who's, I said, like a couple of years ago, I went over for a funeral. She was like a mom to me. She brought me up. And in the car ride heading up to Mackey Mansion, I was telling Mandy, like, oh yeah, it's Nana's like year anniversary since she's passed away and stuff like that. And I said, it's really weird. This morning, like this little white dove was sitting on my fence, just staring at me through my kitchen window. And I even went out there and I'm looking at this dove, and I don't know why. I just keep it. I was like, Nana? It was very strange. It was very bizarre. I don't know why I thought that. And I told her about that. And then couple hours later, she's telling me about this mirror in Mackey Mansion. Top floor in the hallway, there's a mirror. And you'd had an experience with family coming through, and she believed that they came through this mirror almost like a portal. And I was thinking, that would be interesting to kind of try out. And we got there, we were investigating for a little bit, and then we went up to the mirror. And as we're standing there, I feel a tickling down my back, like a hand going down my spine. And I'll always say that was the biggest touch, a spiritual touch that I've ever felt. And it didn't scare me, and it was actually quite comforting, which was interesting. And right as that happened, I went like that, and then I was just standing there frozen, and then family came through the obulus. And I was like, no way, no way. And I was like, I think that was my nana that just tickled my back, because she used to do that to me as a kid every single night before I went to bed. She would tickle my back. And so I was like, right, they were like, right, get the spirit box, get the spirit box. So I go, okay, if this is you, Nana, do you know what day it is? Do you know, or how long's it been since you passed away? And what came through was May 4th, which is the exact date that she passed away.
Wow.
And I said, okay. And I was like, right, I'm about to pass out here. And I said, right, okay, last question. What animal do you come to me as? And a dove came through, clear as day, and I just dropped the spirit box, like,
Yeah.
and,
Nice.
but Mandy, like, being there in that moment and just being like, this is beautiful, like, this is a gift, you know, and it was just such an exciting, happy, and interesting moment that I'll never, ever forget. We've actually discussed that we're going to go back this year,
Yeah.
since it's been here, and we're going to go back on May 4th and just see, because Mana hasn't came through again since that moment. And we know that we got a ton of activity in that house last year on that day. So we're hoping for the same to go back, hopefully.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if you end up with the dove there again on the same date.
And that would be insane.
Yeah, that would be really crazy. I mean, I know now it's weird because there's not many doves in my area where I live. And the last time I saw the dove was earlier, well, last year, because we're in 2024 now. But my cat passed away, and I done a home euthanization, and they came over, and when she took the cat away, me and my fiance went to the backyard. The second we went to the cat, we went into the backyard. We were just standing there. We weren't saying anything, just kind of like getting some fresh air. And then all of a sudden, way, way, way in the distance, we see two birds, like the little like shadows of like two birds, silhouette, sorry. And then they were coming closer and closer. And you're seeing them pass streets and streets and streets. They come all the way up, fly to the tree that we're standing under in our yard. And it's two doves. One, the bigger dove kind of nudges the little dove nearer to us and flies away. And I know this might sound crazy to some people, and I understand this, but that to me was that was my nana ringing versus like a little soul, like my little cat soul. Saying like, he's here, he's on the other side, like, you know. And it was like, what? And I'm like freaking out. And even my fiance is like, I don't even know what to say about that. That's bizarre. And he's not the, you know,
Is he not into the paranormal then?
He doesn't mess with it, let's just say that. He's like, why even go there, you know?
Well, I'm lucky because my partner, she's into the paranormal like us. Yours isn't, is it? And yours is.
I just get told, don't ever ring at it now.
Yeah.
We get that, don't we? Mandy, yourself, I mean, you've experienced a lot of stuff. Can you explain it sounds awful, but what's really scared you at the same time has also excited you? Do you understand?
Yeah. I wouldn't say that anything. I don't know if I can't. Like, I get scared, but I also don't get scared. I get really excited for most things. I know people will always say, like, I get excited when spirits come through on the spirit box. And they're like, why are you getting so excited? You're a medium, like it's whatever. And I'm like, it's still so mind-blowing that we can hear their voices through spirit box. You know, it's still so mind-blowing that we're able to communicate with them, even though I can see them and hear them myself, to actually get a response and to hear it. I mean, it's just, I just think it's so just unbelievable and cool. The only time I would say I get scared is if I'm feeling something that I can't see and I don't like what I'm feeling. That really like unnerves me. That's what I would say. Yeah, that unnerves me. And I'll say that sometimes. I'm like, Jade, I'm feeling something and I can't see it and I don't like that. Because if I can't see it, that means it's hiding from me. And if it's hiding from me, that's not always a good sign. So I would say that unnerves me, but otherwise I'm just freaking excited all the time. I love this stuff so much.
It's funny because we've been doing it for years. You never get bored of it. You never get bored because it's always the unexpected, the surprise what's ahead of you. Sometimes you get nothing, sometimes you get small things, but they still excite you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still enjoying it. I mean, even if you're not, I mean, I feel like we're lucky, like we get stuff pretty much everywhere we go. But even if it's maybe not as active as another place, just the fact that we got to travel somewhere and go experience a location, just get out and about and do something together. I mean, even last night, we were just charging equipment and the spirit box, we turn it on just to like, I don't know, we just turned it on and we were having a conversation with somebody in the house and it was just like, so it, you know, like it's not boring, it's so exciting. So
Yeah. So
Getting
much
all your
to do.
equipment ready. What is it that you use?
What's this one? The usual stuff, really. Spirit box, REM pod, digital recorder, things like that. We have a few kind of interesting ones.
Yeah.
The one I can't remember the name of it. I'm actually just it was a company that sent a spirit box for us to try. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, though. I feel bad. But the reason why we turned it on was because we've only used it on one investigation, and that was in the Belvada Hotel, in the basement. And all that was coming through was English sounding radio stations, and that made me a little bit skeptical because I was like, "But we're in America. Why is it picking up English radio stations?" And so before we were to bring it on this investigation, I was like, I'm just going to turn the spirit box on to see if it's still English radio stations. And it wasn't.
When was that?
That
last night,
we turned that on last night. But when it was picking up English radio stations, it was about a month ago we investigated, and that was in Nevada.
I was only
Yes.
thinking
You shouldn't be able to do that.
because I contacted you and I was saying we're in England and we're doing a radio show. Is it possible to have you on? That's why I thought when you said last night, I was thinking, I wonder if it's like a connection there.
Oh, right. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Or I don't know if it was like all the voices coming through were genuinely spirits and they would have sounded more proper English back in the day, if that makes sense. Like not
Yeah,
really.
well, I will say, because before Jade, I was investigating with another group, and I've been investigating for a few years prior to this. And I've never had British, English, anything like that come through on any of my devices, ever. And then all of a sudden I'm with you, and we've got I mean, I'm hearing English voice, I'm hearing Scottish
There's some
voices.
words that come up and you go, what does that mean? And we Googled and I'm like, oh, it's a Scottish word for this or something like that. It's just like,
So I'm just saying, like, I think that you're just bringing a whole different like pot of spirits with you to communicate. I don't know. I just think that there's something to it.
That is
Yeah.
possible, isn't it?
Is it an English connection or
Yeah.
Scottish connection?
Yeah,
possibly.
because I've never heard it before until I started working with you, and I'm like, what is going on?
That's it. No, it's all unexplained, isn't it?
That's the nice part about the paranormal is not being able to explain something. I think if everything was explained and you knew everything, it would take that excitement away.
Yeah.
You know, exactly.
And when you work together, you were saying you meet up 3 or 4 times a month. Do you plan ahead of where you're going to go, or have you ever just gone off the cuff where you think, should we just go and have a drive out and see where we get?
No, but we should. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
We've never really just we always kind of plan it. Sorry, I'm just repositioning.
Okay.
We always plan it, but at the same time, I don't know. We just always plan it. We always plan our investigations. Like, I don't really do many abandoned locations anymore. Like, I work in education at school, so I can't be getting arrested anymore. Like back in the day when Ghost Club was, first starting off. So we try and be, respectful and all that kind of stuff.
Be good.
Well, we interviewed a social worker a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We're getting her back on because she was brilliant.
Yeah. From Australia, she was.
She goes off on her own. She just does it on her own. Yeah, from Australia. And when we got talking to her, she said, "I'm not supposed to tell you this, especially on camera." And she said, "But I take a big set of."
No, we asked her. But we asked her what stuff she takes.
What
with
equipment
her
you take? Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, in the boot of the car type thing." She says, "I have my stuff in there along with the bolt cutters." They were like,
"Bolt cutters?
Bolt cutters? What do you need bolt cutters for?" To get into abandoned places to cut the jade.
She's saying this really because I'm a social worker and I'm going, "Oh my God."
Jade's That's so funny. Like when I was in England, like those couple of spots that I was like, yeah, we just done it outdoors, like didn't plan them or anything like that. When I was talking to Rory, and we're just gonna say this allegedly, like, I think this is just a joke on his end. But I remember we went to one place, it was like a big abbey, and he was like, there is a farmer that lives right next to the abbey who will come out, like, but you can technically it's not like closed off or anything, but he will come out and kind of chase people off, apparently. And he was like, so I bring a dog lead with me. In that case, if he comes out, then you'll be like, oh, I'm looking for my dog that ran away. And then we'll just turn around and leave.
Smart.
But he really has brought a dog lead with him, like a couple times to, if anybody does come out and say, hey, what are you doing here? It's like, oh, my dog ran away and I'm just looking for my dog, but I'll be off now. He's not here.
You know what's going to happen now, don't you, Jade? When we go on paranormal investigators area, there's going to be loads of groups and dog leads.
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, what equipment have you got? Bolt cutters and a dog lead? That's the good thing with paranormal. There's so much funny sides to it. That there's the serious side, and then there's the hilarious side of it. Yeah. And I think they gel well together because it keeps you grounded in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You gotta have both.
You certainly do, yeah. And so, do you know what? There was a question I was going to ask you, and it's just gone.
Should dementia coming through?
What was that?
What?
You just had hold of then?
Horrible.
The size of it?
It's huge.
We have big water bottles.
Very big bottle.
Just couldn't work out what it was.
America.
Yeah, it's America.
Honestly, like I actually try and hydrate as much as I possibly can before an investigation. Like that's a little tip right there. Because once I'm in that investigative mode, I'm just like, there's no time for anything else.
What else do you do before you go on an investigation? Is there anything specific that you do?
Good question. I mean, other than drink water.
I have a ritual. I always drink a Red Bull.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
The energy.
Yeah, because it raises your vibration. So, not a big one, just like the small one.
Yeah.
I always drink one before I go investigate. Just like my thing.
Yeah.
Is there any? You were talking about the equipment you've got. What I did pick up on earlier on, Jade, is, and I'm so pleased that you said is you called them cat balls and not spirit balls.
They are cat balls.
Yeah.
They are. So.
Yeah, I picked that up because
don't get them started.
Yeah, because the amount of people I hear saying, "Oh, we brought our spirit balls with," and I'm going, "No, the cat balls."
Yeah.
These cat balls, all of a sudden spirit balls, and they go up by £20 or $20 in your.
Before, like, I will admit, before cat balls got like big, I was calling them sensor balls, and
Oh,
then it just
yeah,
got to
yeah,
a
yeah.
point. It got to a point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's what they are. They're cat balls, and it just keeps on coming out because that's what they are. So
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Right.
So what's your favourite piece of equipment you take with you that you couldn't do without?
you want to start?
I have two, well, God, three. See, this is a problem. I really don't like to go anywhere without my obelisk. And now I would say my hack shack, my radio, my spirit
Oh.
box radio.
I don't think they get
Right.
that over.
Right.
Right.
It's a radio that you hack to make it into a spirit box.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it's under, the brand is Radio Shack, and I believe that they.
Yeah,
also-
Radio
Yeah,
Shack,
yeah,
yeah.
Radio Shack, yeah.
Yeah.
What's yours, Jade?
I mean, I don't, honestly, like, it's more of a method though. It's the Estes method, like, with the spirit box, the blindfold, and the headphones. Like, I
Yeah, I
really
love that.
Brilliant.
have gotten some really, really insane responses from that. And I'm all about the like little challenges and stuff like that, and just coming up with like new ideas, methods, experiments.
Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So before we go, because we're gonna have to go soon anyway, and it's cruel on you because you've got a journey to take yet. How can people get to watch you, listen to you, join your group on Facebook and that? Just reel your list off. We don't mind.
No, I mean, we're on Facebook, Instagram, mainly YouTube. But yes, Ghost Club Paranormal. That's it on all social media platforms and on YouTube.
And have you got a website at all?
No, I did. I used to have a website, and then it would be like 3 viewers in an entire year. So just got rid of the website. But yeah, YouTube is mainly kind of like that sort of thing.
And one question to each of you before we do stop. What location would you both love to do?
I'll go first? Okay.
Yeah.
So I've investigated a lot in England, but I really haven't investigated Scotland. I was born in Edinburgh. That's where I saw my very first apparition when I was 7 years old. And that's what got me into the paranormal and down this journey. Where it was Dalmeny Street in Leith. And I really, really, really want to go back there and investigate that street, the flat that we stayed in and where I saw the apparition, because I've had a lot of theories over the years, and I believe that the apparition that I saw was a woman from the Black Plague who was underneath in the vaults.
Wow.
Yeah, she wasn't scary. She looks a little scary, but again, over the years, I think that she actually was there to help me and guide me through some certain things. So, yeah, I want to go back there, but very interesting. There's Edinburgh Nightmares. Oh, I hope I'm saying that right. The it's this one author, and he's from Edinburgh. He actually recently walked by the flat that I saw her in and pushed the door open. The door was open to the stairs. And he went in there and he took a bunch of pictures of the stairs and sent me it. And it sent shivers down my spine. It's still stuck in time. And it's been years and years and years. It looks no different. I'll need to show you them, man.
Wow.
Totally big. Old.
Wow.
We need to go right now.
Yeah. And if anybody lives in 10 Dalmeny Street and wants us to come into your home, that would help as well. So we can at least use a reference or something. I don't think it would be a great episode for us in a stairwell, but it's hilarious.
Top that, Mandy.
I can't. Mine is nearly not as good.
Well, you like war stuff.
Yeah, so mine's kind of lame. I really want to do like a truly like authentic Civil War site.
Right,
American
okay.
Civil War, or I want to do President Lincoln's home, because nobody's ever investigated his home that he lived in. And so I'd like to do either one.
That's not lame. That's
good.
not lame. That's
That's good.
amazing. So
Like it.
all I can say is go and enjoy yourselves on a paranormal investigation on the Queen Mary tonight.
I know.
And
Yeah, it's fun about it.
and have a safe journey as well. So all I can say is, Jade and Mandy, thank you for coming on the show tonight. We really, really appreciated you taking the time out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
And you've got to come on again and tell us about the Queen Mary.
Oh yeah, that'd be super.
Yes, we can do a follow-up.
Yeah, we're done.
So again, Mandy and Jade from Ghost Club Paranormal over there in Los Angeles. Thank you so much again for being on the show.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys.
So Jonathan, Lee, that was Jade and Mandy.
Yeah.
How nice were they?
I know. Yeah.
Hey,
All the way from the US of A.
oh, superb, absolutely superb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were they? Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just outside of LA.
yeah, really impressed with them, especially Jade, because finding out all these stuff that she's done was unbelievable.
Oh, some of the places.
I'm impressed with Mandy as well. There's no offence there. Like, you know what I'm like.
So jealous as well.
Why is that?
Where they're going.
Oh, the Queen Mary.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you just love that?
Oh God, I.
love it, wouldn't you?
I
Yeah.
know.
Anyway, thanks so much to the ladies for doing that for us. We
Yeah,
really
yeah.
appreciate them taking the time out, especially with the time zone thing as well, because they were going straight from the interview
Yeah.
across to the Queen Mary.
I know. Yeah.
So you know they took that time out in
Crazy,
the
isn't it?
day to
Yeah.
do that and then travelling.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Jade and Mandy, thank you so much for that. Much appreciated by us all. So Lee,
Yeah.
I like that he's panicking now, isn't he? Because of the amount of times we've had you on this. So
Yeah.
you've been telling us a few ghost stories tonight
I have. Yeah.
before we started the show.
Yeah.
And we're going to get you for our podcast
Yeah.
to tell that full story again, because we need to
Yeah.
put it out there, don't we?
Oh, me too.
Yeah. That's
We just
fine.
sat here and listened to you for about half an hour or so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
telling this brilliant true story what happened to you.
Yeah.
And then me and Jonathan looked at you and went, we should have recorded this.
Yeah.
And then when we asked you to do it again, you refused.
I know.
You said do it another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been on our channels recently, have we? We've had a break with the Christmas and that.
Yeah.
But we're coming back now. We've got loads of things planned for this year.
Yeah.
Both on the podcast, the investigation,
Yeah.
and the radio as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting with which you heard a couple of weeks ago was Sean Kenner's story. So if
Yeah.
anybody's got any stories and you want to tell them to us, they can catch us on our Access Paranormal podcast on Facebook.
Yeah.
And what's the email address, Jonathan?
info.accessparanormal@gmail.com.
Get in. I was hoping to catch you out then. So have you done much in the last week or so? Have you done any
Not really. No.
research or anything? Well, no, he's asking you, Lee. Have you done any research, Jonathan?
Bit of research into some
Yeah.
places we can go.
Yeah, we've got a nice list of them now, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're going to be done in a certain way as well, aren't they? So
Yeah. So yeah, some of them will. Yeah.
because we've had a few people actually contacting us saying, when are you doing some more stuff?
Yeah. That's good.
And it's a compliment. It's,
Yeah,
it's a nice
definitely.
compliment, and we appreciate that. And to have somebody contact us, or a couple of people saying you haven't put anything out yet, but we just needed that little bit of a break because
Yeah.
we've not
Yeah.
non-stop, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Just for Christmas, New Year,
Yeah.
and all the rest of it, and yeah.
Yeah. And we've been called out.
Mm.
I can't say too much of it. It's a private house. They're having a lot of issues.
Right.
And because it's children that's involved, and the hauntings that are affecting the children,
Mm.
Yeah.
they've asked us to come out, and we've also had to contact somebody we know to go in there and do a cleansing.
Yeah.
But we've got to go in first and do a little mini invest, which they've kindly told us we can do.
Yeah.
That's all we can say at the moment, but it will be coming out.
Brilliant.
So that'll be a nice one as well. too much to mention, really, isn't there?
A lot going on in the background.
Certainly is, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I've got to say, because I'm going to be a big head now.
Cool.
Watch out for, what's the program called? I always get it wrong, don't I? Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh yeah.
There's one based on Mill Street Barracks, and a good friend of mine is Don Phillip. He's on it, and I was nabbed into it, wasn't I? I was put into it because I was there on the night everything happened. Just keeping out for Unsolved Mysteries, and that'll be coming out. I'm not sure when, but it's in the next month or so.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's coming out. Not sure whether they said February or March, but it's going to be out on Netflix. Even I'm looking forward to that, because I've only seen the part where they filmed me. I've not seen anything else or heard of anything else.
Stuff, yeah.
But I know they went over to Jam Studios. They went over to I think they went to the church. I'm not sure.
Right.
But I know they filmed around here as well. So it'll be nice to see what Dom said.
Yeah.
What Steve Meyer says.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there was me, Don, Steve, who were in that night, and his wife Jackie. We were the only ones in that night when things happened.
Definitely worth a
So
watch.
keep an eye on Unsolved Mysteries. Keep an eye out for it on Netflix.
Yeah.
The only downside would be your face.
Is my face, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got one for radio, haven't I?
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Hey, all three of us only got faces for radio. Say less of it, you. Yeah. Lee's back now as well, isn't he? He's back on the radio with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, you better be careful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we've been sorting out like experiments we're going to do. We're going to be doing different experiments to what we have been doing.
Yeah.
Again, we can't say too much because each show or each podcast or investigation, we're going to have an experiment what we've not done before.
Yeah.
It could be one of us going on our own using the experiment, or whoever would be doing them as well.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So yeah, and
Can't
we've got some good interviews coming up.
Yeah, we have.
I'm looking forward to it. We've got John coming up. We won't say too much about John.
Yeah.
He's got another book out,
Yeah.
so he's going to be coming on and having a good
that'll
chat
be
with us as well.
interesting.
Be very interesting. Jim, he's going to come back on as well.
He's coming back on.
Yeah, and I've got a few more in the pipeline as well.
Yeah.
Jonathan Lee. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know someone messaged us the other day as well.
Remind me. You're getting your phone out. How unprofessional is he, Lee? Hey.
Well, I'm not being
I've done it
unprofessional.
No, go on.
She was on the show.
Well, that makes a change, actually, doesn't it?
Quite a while ago.
Is it from Australia?
No, from America.
Female?
Yes.
Oh, no. What's the first name?
Jill Shelley. Do you remember?
The name rings
the
a bell,
haunted
yeah.
house.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
I do, yeah.
Well, she's recently moved.
Mm-hmm.
So the first, so she's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yes, we did interview her. And she, about a year ago she was on,
Yeah.
and she owns the haunted Boyd house.
Right. I know you're
Yeah.
talking about, yeah.
Right, well, she's recently purchased a new location. And it's a Masonic Lodge in Illinois.
Wow.
Ooh.
And she's contacted you, yeah.
And she's contacted us to come back onto the show to talk about her new house.
Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely perfect. We'll have to arrange to get her on as soon as we
Yes.
can now, won't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting some good interviews coming up. We
Yeah.
want some ghost stories. We certainly want ghost stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody's got any of them, please let us know them, because we want them. We really
Yeah.
want them. We've sat and we've listened to many people telling us ghost stories.
Yeah.
But we've not recorded them.
You know.
And I kick myself for doing it,
I know.
Yeah.
But it's a learning curve,
We
isn't it?
will get Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely get it. Because I mean,
We'll
what?
get that one.
Yeah.
Well, Lee's been, like I said a little bit earlier on, Lee's been telling this story about his paranormal experience and the house he lived in.
Yeah.
And me and Jonathan were just like, why didn't we record this? Because it was
I know.
he went on and on about it. And so
I don't think I'd have stayed there as long as you did.
no,
No, it's
but
good.
that's going to come up
Yeah.
quite soon. That one we're going to
Yeah.
put that on.
Good
But
one.
it's going to go on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to go on the podcast because we recently had you on and we had an interview with you recently, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
And we don't want to bore the people anymore.
This is it, isn't it?
I think it could go on both. So
Do you?
yeah, keep a watch out for that one.
Yeah.
Really good. True story.
Yeah, and it was good. I mean, we both just
Yeah.
stood there and went,
Yeah.
wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We've all got our own personal stories, but that's the first time I've heard them really go into detail about that one.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
So, like I said, if you've got any ghost stories or any, not ghost stories, untrue ones, true ones, experiences, things you've come across, or if you know anybody who's got them, just contact us.
Yeah.
We really don't mind, like I said, contact us on Facebook, Access Paranormal Podcast, or on our email address, Lee. info accessparanormal@gmail.com. And we read every email we get. We always read, even on Messenger, if you want to send us it on Messenger, we read everything.
Yeah.
And we try and reply as soon as we can. Sometimes we can't because we're out and about,
Yeah.
but we always try and reply
Yeah.
when we can. So that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, so, getting there, aren't we?
It is. New year.
New Year,
New start.
yeah.
Definitely.
And we've heard of a place that's pretty close to us we'll be going to as well.
Yeah.
But the weather's been too bad. We were going to be going out a couple of times to record some investigations, but
Yeah.
the weather's been that bad. You
Too
just can't
cold.
do it.
Too cold,
It's
too
way
wet.
too cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't mind if it's if it's cold, it's cold. But
Like some
Oh.
places are a bit too dangerous though when it's
Yeah,
it's
seems
very
wet as
slippy
it
and
is,
stuff.
Yeah.
you're talking, man, you'd end up with us all shivering, wouldn't you?
I know,
Yeah.
you would.
So yeah. And if you heard the show and Ken the one the other week, that's now on our YouTube channel, Access Paranormal Radio.
Yeah.
That's up there along with 177 or 178 radio shows now. No, 177.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liz goes on next week.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the Ouija brothers as well.
The Ouija brothers.
They're up there
Yeah.
now as well.
There, yeah. What is it? Whereabouts is it?
That's on YouTube.
Yeah. The interview I did with them on a podcast.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube on the Ouija Brothers channel. Go over there and have a look at that. I really enjoyed that
The
one.
radio shows on our channel and all.
And the radio show's on our channel. So yeah, go and listen to the radio show, or else
Yeah.
you'll miss it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So next week, I think we've got another interview on for next week's, and then we've got a paranormal investigation for you to listen to because we haven't done one since the Crankavens,
Yeah.
Mm,
and
yeah.
that was part 1 and part 2, which was cracker, that one,
That was a
wasn't it?
good place.
That's
That.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Good one now.
Yeah. And then we're gonna look at some topics as well. Talk about the Ouija board, haunted dolls.
Yeah.
We might even get somebody to talk about their haunted doll they've got.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry.
Be interesting that.
Yeah. It's just something different, to,
Yeah.
for you to listen to. You don't want to listen to our boring voices every single week.
No.
Jonathan Lee's, I get that. Mine, I'd be a bit offended.
The
But-
people are.
Hey, what was that?
The people are offended.
Yeah, but no, we've got a lot in line. We've sat there and talked about so many different ideas. The show's going to change a little bit in the format where we'll have ghost stories coming in.
Yeah.
We've got the boo reviews anyway with the
Yeah,
common
we are.
mystics,
They're good.
so they're fantastic. Listen out also for Junior Paranormal because they're going to have a little slot on there for the
Yeah.
kids,
Yeah.
just to show that we're working with children as well.
Yeah.
On ghost hunts, working alongside them because
Yeah.
Junior Paranormal are exceptional, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
So we'll be doing some stuff with them as well and recording them, and they'll be sending us some of their experiences and ghost stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot to look forward to in there.
There is.
Right.
Certainly
Anyway,
is.
I've talked long enough, haven't I? I'll use a chance. What? They both just yawned. That's not fair, that.
I know.
But listen, we're coming to the end of the show now already.
Wow.
And we've got to say again, thanks to Jade and Mandy
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
for coming on. And yeah, that's it for this week. And we'll be back again next week. So from Lee
Good night.
From Jonathan
Good night.
and from Access Paranormal, we'll see you next week. Good night.